Now live.
We are live.
Woo!
Brilliant timing, Steve.
Perfect timing.
Hello, everyone. Happy World Fringe Day. We are here with Lisa from the Manchester Fringe and Rosie and Steve from the Prague Fringe. Why don't you guys say hi?
Hello. Hello, Prague.
Hello, Manchester. I hope it's all going very well.
How are you guys doing? You made it, which is really, really good. So how are you guys celebrating World Fringe Day?
100 Mac devices, and not one of them work.
Oh, but they are now. Are you on PC now?
No, I'm on my phone, so I can pull around, give you a view out the window or anything.
Oh, nice. Fab. No, so why don't we start with you guys telling us a little bit about your festivals? Steve and Rosie, why don't you go first?
Well, we are already heading into our 17th year. We just finished our 16th year and planning is well underway for the next one. Despite the fact that we're not the youngest Fringe anymore, we are still one of the smallest, and we like it that way.
Yes.
We have kept our Fringe deliberately small because there are lots of big, gargantuan Fringe festivals around the world. So we're being different by keeping ours small, and the artists love it, and the audiences love it too. And Jim Haynes, the wonderful Jim Haynes, Fringe legend, said last year that Prague Fringe is like Edinburgh in the 60s, intimate, fun, and friendly.
Nice.
So we're sticking to that.
Yeah, good. Nice. Do you find the benefits of it being that kind of size?
The benefits, well, I don't know, even after having done Edinburgh for 1 million years, I still have this fear of missing out all the time. You just feel that you've always missed 300 brilliant shows that everyone's talking about. And when you come to Prague Fringe, or whether you're an artist or an audience member, you have a sense of achieving the Fringe by the end of it. You've seen most of the shows, you've met most of the artists.
Yeah.
Got drunk with them in the bar.
You've got drunk with them in the bar.
Very important.
It's kind of like it's a bite-sized Fringe. It's a manageable Fringe. It's a Fringe that you can get your head round. It's not stressful. All the events take place in a very, very small geographical area. And I think that's the main benefits to it being small and compact and bijou.
Love it. I often talk about the Prague Fringe and the fact that you can go there, and sometimes you could have dinner with a promoter instead of just meeting them quickly at a promoter's breakfast like you do in Edinburgh. You can actually go out and have drinks and have beer with or dinner with a promoter, and also get to meet, it's like a family out there. I know I haven't been for a few years now, but when I did come, you just met everybody. It's so lovely.
Yeah, it's one of those cliches, isn't it, that the Fringe has a sort of family or sort of community sort of atmosphere, but it absolutely is here. Because you see a show and then 10 minutes after that you're in another show sitting next to one of the performers from we've got a very positive and great sign of good luck, apparently, if your Fringe poster falls off the wall.
Yeah. Hey, Lisa, tell us about Manchester.
It's happening right now, huh?
Before my set falls down. We are now in our 6th year, and it's growing each year. But as Prague have said, it's still small, and we like to keep it small because there's a community about it, and everyone mucks in and gets together. We're a grassroots festival. And we're a Fringe for Fringe artists, and that's what it's about. It's not about the big money men coming making loads of money. It's about us putting work on for the artists, for Manchester, sharing what we've got, inviting people in from all over the world, and then sending our artists out to the world and letting them hone their skills. And sometimes it'll work, which is brilliant. Sometimes it won't work, which is what it's all about. And they can take risks. This is bye.
Bye, poster. Bye, poster. You've still got one.
Did you know that if the poster falls entirely off the wall, it means you're going to sell double the tickets at the Fringe this
year? So what have you got going on at the moment then?
Lots. Craziness. Today, for example, we've got Mad Beth on, which is a mixture of Macbeth and comedy, and who knows what's going to happen. We've had a children's show on at the weekend, which was amazing, by a new writer from Manchester, born and bred, called Colour Quest. And it was great to see loads of children going to the theatre for the first time and then picking up the programme and going, oh, what else is on? What else can we go and see? So, lots. Got 360 events on over this month.
Wow.
And obviously...
That's not small.
No.
That's events. So that's every day that they're on. So over probably about 125 actual individual shows, but over the month. Okay. Yeah.
How fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds brilliant. So what got you guys into Fringe in the first place? Because Steve, you've been doing this a long time, but where did it all begin? Where did your Fringe journey begin?
Well, I escaped in '96. I escaped from Aberdeen, a city that I loved and hated in equal measures, and I made a decision to go to the Edinburgh Fringe in '96. And everyone asked what the plan was, and I said, there is no plan, I'm going to the Fringe. So I went to the Fringe, and to cut a long story short, I ended up moving to Prague, and by that point, I'd done 2 or 3 Fringes, and then in 2000, having done a few more, and having lived in Prague for a few years, I just blurted out in a bar one day in Edinburgh at the Fringe, I'm going to start a Fringe in Prague. And it seemed like a good idea. It was a bit like bringing coals to Newcastle. There's a lot of culture here. There's a lot of festivals. Theatres are packed full every day on each street in the centre of Prague with all sorts of interesting work. So it seemed like an absolutely mental idea to bring more theatre to Prague. But somehow it's worked, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Brilliant. And what about you, Rosie?
Well, I came to Prague about nearly 10 years ago now, and I knew about the Prague Fringe before I moved here. And I wrote Steve a number of letters asking if he needed any help or if he needed any staff or talented event coordinators from the UK, and didn't receive any replies. So I started working on the doors as a volunteer selling tickets, and I worked my way in that way.
Nice.
He realised he couldn't do without me, and it's been the rest is history, as Steve says. But yeah, it was an interesting introduction to the Fringe family.
Yeah. Rosie's going to Edinburgh for the first time ever this year, so she's very excited.
Was he there? You're going to be there when we're there.
Are you going to be on our panel, Rosie?
For about 24 hours, so blink and you'll miss me. I'm there on the 15th of August, and I'll be running from show to show, trying to cram in as much as I can and soak it all up.
Yeah, you'll miss. What about you, Steve? Are you going to Edinburgh?
I'm there for a week, yeah. The second or the third week, I think. Second week. So looking forward to it. It's year 22 for me. So I think I've worked out that's not quite a third of the entire 70 years. So it's not bad going.
Not bad at all.
Not bad.
Hey, so Lisa from Manchester Fringe, how did you start your Fringe journey?
Our Fringe started really organically. So there's a few Fringe venues across Manchester, and we worked together to create the Fringe for the artists. So it was very organic. We needed something. There was a gap there, and if we didn't fill it, somebody else would have done, and it wouldn't have had the essence of Fringe. It would have lost the community.
Yeah.
Simple.
But yours is Greater Manchester, so yours kind of goes out of the peripheries as well as centre, isn't it?
The city centre is booming with Fringe all year round, and we're quite aware that some of the outskirts of Manchester don't really have that much. So we called it Greater Manchester because we've started sleeping out to the edges of Manchester, actually taking Fringe to them, so people don't have to travel to come.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you make that happen?
We've started selecting venues on the outskirts of Manchester. We've got Bury, we've got Guide Bridge, we've got one in Oldham. So we've selected the venues and then put it out to the Fringe community that this venue is up for taking on Fringe performances. And it's hard work for us as the Fringe to get people to let people know what's going on, but it's working, and new people are being introduced to theatre and Fringe.
Yeah,
awesome.
Amazing. Yeah,
we're going to wrap up in a minute, but I just want you to you can tell us about your how to get involved and when it is. And Steve's got a point. Come
on. I've got a question. I'm just wondering if the Manchester the bee thing on the Manchester poster, is that a frumble bee?
It's a worker bee.
Oh, because we've got a fringin. Our mascot is a fringin, so I just wondered if yours was a frumble bee.
Oh, it's been great. Spring watch. Right here.
I know, it is like spring. I'm very glad to hear you're a fan of that program.
What bird is this? So yeah, tell us how to get involved in your Fringes and when they are and when the calls for registration, etc.
Our Fringe is now.
Yep.
And it's till the 31st of July. And for next year, our applications will open in December.
Okay.
Get involved.
So if people are in Manchester, they've still got loads of time to come up and see a bunch of shows.
Loads.
Cool. We'll be there.
I'd like to say I'm quite impressed at how fresh you look, considering you're halfway through your event.
Yeah, you're looking good. And she's got a baby. And she's got a tiny baby, so she's doing doubly well.
Double good.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
We finished on the 3rd of June, so we're fresh.
We're in holiday mode.
We're gearing up for holiday mode, definitely. But already plans are well underway for next year. The Fringe every year is usually the end of May and the start of June. We start on the 25th of May next year. Application process, all the information's online. But in brief, check the website out in August because all the information goes up there. It's quite difficult to get a slot because we only have 50 slots and we have hundreds of applications.
Yeah.
So we really have the cream of the crop performing at the Prague Fringe.
Nice.
If you're an audience member watching, it's definitely worth coming out and checking us out as well. And so all the information's there in August, and we close sometime in September. And the second poster fell. That's incredibly good.
Good luck.
Double good luck.
That's 2 frumblebees down.
No.
Frumblebee a bit upset that he was called.
So we're going to say goodbye from World Fringe Spring Watch here.
It was lovely to meet you, Manchester.
Lovely to meet you too.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. A happy World Fringe Day to you guys.
I'm glad this is not a 3-hour interview because my arm's about to die. I'm still on my phone.
You've done very well.
You did very well.
Done brilliantly. Right, Fringe love. Take care, guys.
Bye.
See you soon.